guys. Hello, my fellow explorers. Good morning. It is Sunday. It is bright and sunny. We'll see how long that lasts. And we are going to Glasgow. This is Colleen. I don't know if you met her. And yeah, we're going to go to the Kelvingrove Museum and walk around and do some other things that we didn't get to do the other day. So hopefully we won't get stranded here at night because of the strikes. The strikes, you've ruined my life. There are people around. It's fine. We are at the Kelvingrove. It's huge. It's really cool. And we're wandering. And it's been interesting because I've got this camera, and my phone on a selfie stick. So we're gonna see how well this goes today. Scottish section of the museum, and it's really cool. It's not just like art, it's like all about like the history and stuff in like the 1800s and like 1700s. They've got really cool portraits, and me in love with my Scottish history. I'm feeling it. And this is apparently a chair that was made from a tree at the Battle of Culloden. So that's dope. We have moved away from the art part of the museum and like to the regular part, and now we're in the rainforest. And there's all these taxidermy things just, you know, chilling. That's great. Didn't expect that. It's fine. There's a skull down. There's a skull. I don't actually know what section of the museum we're in at this point, but it's cool. And there's like all these figures made of steel. Don't really know what we're looking at. I'm sure we'll find out.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted. My heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing and keep your words naked. You got me blushing.
We have now had lunch. We as Americans got burgers because why try their food? And now we're continuing through the museum. There was an exhibit on the bottom floor, but you had to pay, and it looked kind of cool. It was going to be like Egyptian stuff, but we didn't really want to pay for it. It's the kind of stuff that like travels, so it's whatever. But yeah, we're now on the main floor as an organ is playing in the background. Our time at the museum is over. The bus did not stop for us. It just drove right on by. We're gonna have to hail it down. So, party pooper. Multiple buses have done that. I don't know what else we're doing today.
Getting something warm to drink.
Or cold, because she likes ice. But yeah, we have a train either at like 5:15 or like 7:15. It's one of the two. We haven't figured out which one we're taking.
It's up in the air.
Because there's no in between. Stupid strikes. We found a carnival. I'm so excited. Will we ride stuff? Probably not. We probably won't ride anything at all. But
maybe.
We'll see. I just like carnival. We're back in Edinburgh today, and we're going to the castle. Yay! Going to the castle. Going to the castle, and we're not gonna get mad because there's no Prince Harry. But at least the Queen's here. So this is happening. Are you scared? I didn't vlog yesterday because it was 4th of July and I had class. And then we went out and I wasn't going to film us partying like normal college students. Because I don't need that in my vlogs. So, yeah, we're going to the castle because we couldn't get into Holyrood. That's a whole other story that I will probably rant about. I haven't yet, which is very surprising. But we can't go there, so instead we're going to the castle.
If you have a look at the clip face that we have here behind us, And then just compare that cliff face to the rock the castle's being constructed out next to it. You can tell that cliff face is quite a lot darker in colour. And the simple reason for that is that underneath all of this stuff we're standing on, there's a big lump of dark volcanic rock. I'm sure as you're wandering up here, you've seen we've got a little hill in the centre of Edinburgh. It's called Arthur's Seat. That's the main part of an extinct volcano, and it's that volcano that throws up this rock formation that the castle's being built on. We've had it inhabited now for over 3,000 years, which isn't bad going. Not least because none of you are from Greece or Egypt, amid its modern history. But what's maybe a little bit more impressive than that 3,000-year period is that after all of that time, we still have this nice functional castle to show you. Most other forts of that age in Scotland, by this point, consist of not much more than a couple of lumps on a hillside somewhere. But the reason we've done so well for ourselves actually owes a lot to do with the geography of where we are. If you imagine a map of the main island of Britain, we are very much at the narrow point here, if you're talking east to west. And what that does for Scotland in terms of medieval military strategy is create this nice natural defensive strong point. If you imagine you're Scotland in the 1300s and you have an invasion coming up from the south, it's very much here that you want to try and stop it. If it goes further north, it can spread out throughout the heartlands of Scotland. It then becomes a lot more difficult to deal with. But if you stop it here, at this narrow point, you've got a much better chance of containing it. And that's why you see Edinburgh Castle doing so well here throughout the medieval times. The same story, by the way, is also true of Stirling Castle, which is a bit to the north of us. Both of these castles are big national fortresses, and they're designed and maintained throughout the medieval times to protect what is known as the gateway to Scotland, this narrow strip of land that we're based on.
That was cool. Didn't expect to see that.
Where do they go after?
I don't know. They go and hide. Who knows? We are now in line to see the crown jewels. It just got really loud again. We took a tour, as you saw clips of, and yeah, it's just a lot bigger and cooler than I was expecting because people are like, yeah, Stirling Castle's better. No, it's not.
We have had a castle here in one form or another for the last 3,000 years, and that makes 900 look a little bit more modern. The reason we don't have anything older around the place to show you is because in 1314 this castle is almost entirely destroyed, and this takes place during what's known as the Scottish Wars of Independence. And very briefly, what happens to start these wars off is that in the 1280s and the 1290s, Scotland had a succession crisis. There was no king or queen, and more importantly, there was no successor to the Scottish throne, and therefore what the Scottish nobles decided to do was to ask Edward I of England whether he wouldn't mind please deciding who the next king or queen of Scotland should be. And Edward I did what most medieval monarchs at the time would have done and said, well, since you've asked nicely, that would be me. Thank you very much indeed. And after a couple of years of politicking about all of that, Edward invaded Scotland in 1296, and that started a couple of decades of warfare. That, in all fairness, has probably become Scotland's most famous period of history.
Tell us, tour guide Rachel, where are we going?
We are going to the Great Hall. This was originally in like 1500s made for like big extravagant like dinners and parties and stuff that King James, I'm assuming one of them would have, but then
One of the 12 Jameses.
but then whatever other king took over, and then he changed it into apartments for his soldiers, and then they changed it back like however many hundred years later, and now this is what it looks like.
Thanks, tour guide Rachel. We have been into the Queen's Bedchambers, which you saw. We saw the Crown Jewels, which you did not see, and the National War Museum, which you did not see. Memorial, not museum. They have a lot of no cameras here. Casually walking by in their fancy pants outfits.
Did you see them like walking weird with their shoes?
They're clacking like they're like tap dancers. This is why I love this country, because all the stereotypes are everywhere. You've got literally people play like bagpipes all the time. People are in kilts everywhere.
So many.
Like you think
So
it's
many
just,
kilts.
You literally think it's a stereotype, but no, they're everywhere.
Why are you so creepy?
Why are there these little men guarding? It's creeping me out.
Why are you so creepy, dude? Why are you so creepy?
So we have now entered another museum. This is the official like National War Museum of Scotland. We're probably gonna go through pretty quickly because we're hungry. These people in fancy pants outfits, we are 99% sure they're going to a garden party with the queen.
She didn't even invite us.
No. First, she doesn't let us enter her house.
Rude.
So we didn't get to go on that trip. That's why we're here visiting the other castle. Secondly, she's having a garden party and didn't invite us.
What the hell? I totally
really-
would have wore a kilt for that.
Legit. Hey guys, so again, I'm sorry for all of the crappy vlogging. It's now like 10:45 at night. I think where I last left off, we're still in Edinburgh, so basically we got back fine. I looked it up, and today is, as part of Holyrood Week, which is the week that the Queen is here, there is a giant garden party. And so the Queen and like her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, plus 2 of her children, the Princess Royal, which I think is Anne, and then Earl of Wessex. Don't remember his first name. But anyway, so they're there, and all these fancy pants people were walking around in like their really cool hats. And one day I'll remember the names of them, but I can't. Like the milliner's hats is like where they're like kind of on the side that the girls wear, and then they have like all the like feathers and like frills and like in cool shapes and stuff. So that was really cool to see. We were hoping to go down to like see what it could look like, what we could see, but we just didn't have time. So then we came back. I did a little shopping with Molly, and then I came back here, and then I've been packing because I basically need to get, I know it doesn't look like it, but this is pretty much packed for now because I'm taking the backpack and the backpack tomorrow. I just gotta put some things to the sides, make sure I've got everything in them, and then wake up at 5 in the morning. Yay! But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow as we head off to Isle of Skye. Please, please, please let us get there. Please.